Hello everyone, welcome to the Sidecan at Excel Easy Tech tutorial. Today I'm going to show you some techniques in freezing the row and the column. Before we start, you should be mindful of which is the row and the column. This part that you are seeing, the A, these are the columns. Going this way, these are the columns, and across are the rows. From 1, 2, 3 on to downwards are the rows. If you click anywhere within the spreadsheet, this thick rectangular box that I've shown, we call this as a cell. Okay, like this is cell C9, and this is cell B9, this is cell B8. How to freeze this particular row so that if we want to scroll down, we can maintain that row. We don't want that row to be hidden. How to freeze that row? We can freeze this row by clicking to the View tab. We click the View tab here. We go to Freeze panel. This particular section that you are seeing here, this is the freeze panels. So we drop down the arrow and we go to Freeze Rules. If you can see, Freeze Rule. We select this part, this freeze rule, in order to freeze this entire row, this one. If you can observe the tick or the magic that has just happened here, you can find out that this particular row, we can see a thick, a tiny line has appeared, showing that this particular row has been frozen. If we can click down, we can maintain that particular row. That row has been maintained. It has constantly frozen. And how to freeze this panel? Someone might have been thinking that, okay, I go to freeze the first column, I will select this, I go to freeze the first column in order for me to freeze this column. If you do that, then you've missed the entire track. If you go to freeze the first column, you will automatically unfreeze this particular row. You automatically freeze this particular row, not the column and the row at once. Let's see if that can work. If we select freeze first column, in order for us to freeze the row and that of the column, what will be the outcome? Select it and you see, now if we try to go this way, you can notice that we have used only this particular column has been frozen, not the column and the row. Okay, you can apply this only to freeze a particular column, like what has just happened, to freeze this particular column. Now we want to freeze this column and at the same time freeze this row. What to do? We unfreeze this column first. We go to unfreeze panel, we unfreeze. Whenever you want to undo it, you go to unfreeze. You unfreeze that particular section that you froze. Now I want to freeze this column and this row. If you want to freeze only this row and the column next after the column A, then you select the first cell after the first row and that of the column. Let's see what will happen. Selecting this particular cell and if you select this particular cell, that is B2, in order for us to freeze this row and this column, we select this cell. We go to freeze panel, we select freeze panels. Freeze panels is going for the row and at the same time the column. If we select the freeze panel, what happened? What we have observed? We have observed tiny lines across the row, the first row, and at the same time the column. So you see, if we want to scroll this way at the right corner, we can observe that this rule here, this column here, is constant. So you see, we can go as much as we can. Now let's say we want to go down. If we want to come down, to maintain this rule, if we have a series of name here, we want to go across downwards. If we click down, this particular rule has been maintained. Now this is how to do it. Let's say we don't want to freeze this first rule and the column at the same time. We want to freeze this second rule and second column. What to do? We go to the second. This second rule that we want to freeze rule 1 and rule 2, and want to freeze column A and column B. What to do? We select cell C3, that's just after the second column and at the same time after the second rule. So we select this particular column. We go to freeze panel. First we try to unfreeze it, we try to unfreeze the panels, and we do the same thing. We go to freeze panel and we freeze all panels. So if you select what you have observed, we have freeze this rule, these two rules, and at the same time these two columns. Now if we try to scroll to the left, to the right hand side, we observe that these two particular columns are constant. Similarly for the rules, if you try to scroll down, if you go down, you can observe that these particular rules are constant. What's the essence of freezing a rule and a column? Now let's say this is Conte, Cisse, Bangura and Calonne and so on. We want to compare column H, where we have product G, to that of Conte or to any of these names here. We want to compare it to this particular column. What to do? Now if we have froze these two rows and two columns as it is, we try to scroll to the left. Now at H, at column H, we notice that Camara is having 650, Conte is having 350, and the rest, maybe 10, 20, 30, hundreds of columns. In order for you to be watching the corresponding value of that column, you do this easy take, so that you scroll right where you have the column near to the names of this selected column. You take it right there, you can automatically see the products corresponding to that. If you find this video interesting, you can kindly subscribe to this channel so that you can get update of my release of this technical way of applying in Excel. I have a lot of formulas in calculating problems, but you can give me the courage to do that by subscribing to this particular channel. Thanks very much for watching.